3 days in, and New York has been continuously disappointing. Each morning I wake in my hostel wondering how I can possibly fill the hours until I sleep again. I soar to the heights of the Empire State Building and take the ferry to Staten Island just for something to do, not because I have any desire to see either. I flew to this city via Iceland, and if I'm honest, the knowledge that I could have stayed there amongst the glaciers, violet lupine and lava fields is enough to make me cry. What sweet relief it is then when I meet a South American man, Paolo, who is staying in the same dorm as me. By nightfall, when I'm ready for bed, he's raring to explore and his energy is infectious. He's also gay, which makes me feel comfortable. In France, I hung out with a male traveller who only wanted to talk about breasts. Let me take you to the High Line, I say, suddenly buzzing and talking about this city as though I live here and know all its nooks and secret curves. Paolo is impressed, and as the night progresses, we go into a bar and dance together. I feel intoxicated despite only having one drink. This is me dancing with a stranger. Me who no one has ever wanted to stand beside. Me who no one here is staring at in horror. Maybe this is the allure of New York, this beautiful city that I can love after all. Yes, I think I do like it here, even if this music isn't what I'd normally listen to. Sauna, Paolo says over the music, and in a second the word snaps me into sobriety. I've always had a weird relationship with alcohol. I could be pumped full of spirits, but if I'm already unhappy or uncomfortable, nothing will shake me from that state. Alcohol doesn't take the edge off me at all in these moments. It sharpens the curve into a razor, and right now, part of me is bleeding profusely. Paolo has come equipped with the names and addresses of different saunas. You go, I offer, though it's hard to say even these two words because it means the night is over. I've got no idea how I'll get back home, but I'd rather be out here on these unknown streets than in the sauna, the very last place I want to spend a holiday. I'm in my late 20s and have never been to a sauna, which makes me an oddity, really. Paolo begs and begs me. What fun it will be. Fun? What about what we had? Is that already forgotten? That beautifully awkward dance we've just shared is not enough. I, myself, can never be enough. Sometimes I can't remember why I want to live, but I think of all the freaks, and I don't want to miss this. I read these words, age 17, in the photocopied pages of a zine. It would be years before I found out they were lyrics by the queercore band Team Dresch, but by then it wouldn't matter. They had shown me there were other people out there, lingering in the cool pools of shadows. Freak. Once I might have run from such a word. Now I realize it fits me so well, like a trench coat that I could walk through the toughest city in knowing I was untouchable. No one wanted to touch me. There was a power in that. After all, who has more strength than a monster? I will be upfront about this. I am aware, very aware, that I'm one of those obvious gays. Either my voice or the way I walk will give it all away in a second, in less than a second. I don't pretend, don't see the point in faking something that isn't there. I'm not ashamed of being me. Where I run into trouble is what I'm left with, this world that makes me so tired and confused. Maybe it's because as a child The Wizard of Oz was my favourite movie, but I always imagined finding an emerald city to belong, not knowing that emerald is a weak gemstone that can break so easily. As an adult, I moved to the city looking for a gay world I could enter with the ease of feet into slippers. But they were glass slippers, and my feet, swollen and suppurating, would soon shatter this contraption into shards I could never entirely sweep up. In a bar one night, a man offered some encouragement. Go on, put yourself out there. You're fresh meat. No. No. Soon after, my dour disposition came to outweigh my voice, and most people would consider me too depressing to be gay. Well, I can practically quote Prozac Nation verbatim. My big secret is that I live in a state of constant imagination, playing what if the way someone rushes to the casino for thrills. You know that man who you see waiting at the train station each morning? The one who's reading a book about Banksy? What if he's just waiting for the right moment to ask me to come and stencil poetry over this city with him? What if I can meet another type of gay man, not in the gym or sauna, but after colliding with one another in the corner of a musty library? He takes me home to lend a CD I've been searching for years, and his walls are lined with bookshelves. I learn he plays my favorite instrument, the harp. The question is, where are these people hiding? I should take up bird watching because I'm always searching for something that you don't get to see too often. Surely some of the fault has no doubt been mine. Whenever I met someone, I likely had the unrealistic expectation that, voila, they would morph into what I had always been looking for and could only find in fiction. Now, time is running out. I'm exhausted hearing, "Let's catch up soon," just because someone doesn't have the courage to say, "You repulse me." Despite the dark books I've read and love, this isn't what I wanted. But like my favorite authors, I seem incapable of writing happy endings, especially for my own story. I am early. Of course I am. I'm so used to waiting that by now it's become my habit. From the third floor of the bookstore, I look down onto the city and try to spot the man who has come to meet me, try to shake off the guilt that he has taken a bus to get here when I was able to walk. I know his proper name,
Goran.
But to me, he will always be identifiable by his profile, Love Surrender. Surrender is the title of one of my favourite books, and I can't imagine anything more beautiful than succumbing to this powerful force. And yet, I've been through all of this so many times before. This sitting, smiling, nodding politely before the person vanishes, and should we ever see one another again, nothing but a ghost's recognition flutters between us. Out on the streets, it's not yet winter, but the air bites us with piranha force until we find ourselves in another bookstore with a cafe. Here we go again, I think. But as we speak, something changes. Something subtle as the first leaf of autumn, reddening the green. I learn he grew up in a war-torn country. Like me, his family is not a stranger to the greedy hands of suicide. He quotes his Bible, The Velvet Rage, and I share lines from Prozac Nation with him in return, both of us hungry for more. For a time, I wonder if this is all just a story until I relax. What is life, if not one story we tell ourselves to make the hours that must follow bearable? Your favourite word, I ask?
Dove.
He replies. Mine's gossamer, I say. Soft, softer. Our words coalesce like candle wax, taking the shape of a Rodin sculpture. It's a solitary piece that will melt sometimes, break occasionally before the four hands smooth over it. And while it always stands alone in a park, unprotected from the elements, it's a reminder that he is still there, will always be there near me.
The different kind of gay.